Ever wondered how much it costs to go to medical school in the USA? It's a question many prospective med students and their families grapple with as they navigate the complex world of higher education. The answer, however, isn't as straightforward as one might hope. The cost of attending medical school in the United States is influenced by a multitude of factors, with the primary ones being whether the institution is public or private, and whether the student resides in-state or out-of-state. Public universities, for instance, are generally more affordable than their private counterparts. For in-state students, the average cost of tuition and fees at a public medical school hovers around $60,000 per year. For out-of-state students, that figure jumps to nearly $85,000. Private universities, on the other hand, charge an average of around $65,000 per year, irrespective of the student's residency status. But that's not all. Health insurance, a requirement at most institutions, can add a few $1,000s to those figures. And let's not forget living expenses, books, and supplies, which can also add a substantial amount to the total cost. Over the past few decades, these costs have been trending upward, outpacing the rate of inflation. This escalation in the cost of medical education has far-reaching implications for the healthcare industry and society at large. It not only affects the financial health of aspiring doctors, but also influences their career choices and their ability to serve in underserved areas. So, while the dream of donning a white coat, stethoscope in hand, and saving lives is a noble one, it is also an expensive one. The cost of medical education in the United States is a significant investment, one that requires careful planning and consideration. With these figures in mind, the dream of becoming a doctor in the USA seems to come with a hefty price tag. But how does the cost of medical school in the USA stack up against other countries? Let's take a world tour to find out. Starting up north, Canada's medical schools are a bit more forgiving on the wallet. With government subsidies, the average annual tuition for a medical degree is around $25,000. But remember, this doesn't include living expenses, which can be quite high in major cities like Toronto or Vancouver. Crossing the Atlantic, we land in the United Kingdom. The cost of medical education here varies significantly for domestic and international students. For local students, the government caps tuition fees at £9,250 per year. However, international students might have to shell out up to £40,000 annually. Next, we head down under to Australia. Here, medical school can cost anywhere from $25,000 to $75,000 Australian dollars per year. The wide range is due to the difference between government-subsidized places and full-fee places. Our final stop is Germany, known for its almost free higher education. If you're lucky enough to get into a medical program here, you'll only have to pay a nominal fee of a few €100 per semester. Yes, you heard that right. But of course, you must factor in the cost of living and possibly learning a new language. So what's driving these cost differences? Well, a lot of it comes down to government subsidies. Countries like Germany and the UK heavily subsidize education, keeping tuition low. Exchange rates also play a role. If your home currency is strong against the currency of the country you're studying in, your education could be significantly cheaper. And let's not forget about living expenses. They can vary wildly from city to city and country to country. In the end, it's clear that medical education costs are a global issue. Whether you're studying in the USA, Canada, the UK, Australia, or Germany, becoming a doctor is a significant financial undertaking. As we can see, medical education is a significant investment no matter where you choose to study. But tuition fees and health insurance are not the only costs to consider when going to medical school. Let's dive into the hidden costs that often get overlooked. First on the list, we have books and supplies. Medical school is synonymous with textbooks, stethoscopes, lab coats, and more. These items can cost a pretty penny, with textbooks alone often running into thousands of dollars per year. Next, we have housing. Whether you opt for on-campus or off-campus accommodation, living expenses will play a significant role in your budget. A one-bedroom apartment in a city can easily cost upwards of $1,000 a month. And let's not forget utilities, internet, and other living essentials that add to your monthly bills. Food is another essential factor. Whether you're a master chef cooking at home or surviving on takeouts, food costs quickly add up. Even if you budget around $10 per meal, 3 meals a day can translate to around $9,000 a year. Transportation is another cost to consider. Depending on your location and lifestyle, this could range from public transit fares to car payments, gas, and maintenance. Even if you're walking to school, you might need a car for clinical rotations, which could be miles away from your campus. Lastly, let's talk about personal expenses. These include cell phone bills, gym memberships, entertainment, clothing, and personal care. These costs might seem small individually, but collectively, they can add a substantial amount to your budget. All these costs, when added to your tuition fees and health insurance, can significantly inflate the total cost of medical school. And remember, these are just the direct costs. We haven't even touched on the opportunity costs, like the potential income you're giving up during your years in school. So, the real cost of medical school goes beyond just tuition and fees. The journey to becoming a doctor is not just a significant commitment of time and effort, but also a considerable financial investment. Understanding these hidden costs can help you plan better and make informed decisions about your future. What about the financial impact of medical school debt in the long run? This, my friends, is a question with answers that might surprise you. Let's dive into it. The long-term financial impact of medical school debt is significant and far-reaching. It's not just about the initial sum borrowed for tuition, books, and living expenses. It's also about the accruing interest. Student loan interest rates can be quite high, and the longer it takes to pay off the debt, the more interest piles up. This means that over time, the total amount owed can grow substantially. Now let's talk about the average time it takes to pay off this debt. Most medical graduates will spend a large chunk of their careers paying off their loans. Some sources suggest that the average medical school debt takes about 13 years to pay off. That's 13 years of monthly payments that could be used for other financial goals like buying a home, starting a family, or investing for the future. And what about lifestyle? Well, the weight of this debt can significantly impact a doctor's lifestyle and career choices. For instance, some doctors may choose higher-paying specialties over areas they are passionate about simply to repay their loans faster. Others may delay major life events or purchases due to their financial commitments. Moreover, the stress of this debt can also lead to burnout, affecting not just the individual doctors but also the quality of healthcare they can provide. Lastly, consider the potential impact on retirement savings. With a significant portion of their income going towards loan repayment, doctors might find it challenging to contribute adequately to their retirement funds. This can result in a delayed retirement or a less comfortable one. So it's clear that the financial impact of medical school debt extends far beyond the years spent in school. It can shape a doctor's career trajectory, lifestyle, and even retirement. Medical school debt can have a lasting impact on doctors' financial health and career decisions. It's a sobering reality, but understanding this impact is the first step towards managing it effectively. Is there a way to minimize the cost of medical school? Now that's the golden question, and the answer is yes. There are several strategies that can help lighten the financial load of your medical education. Let's dive into some of these, shall we? First things first, scholarships. They are like the golden tickets of education. Scholarships can be based on merit, need, or even specific fields of study. There's a wide array of them available, from small local ones to substantial national scholarships. The key here is to apply, and apply again. You'd be surprised at the opportunities that may present themselves. Second on our list, work-study programs. These are essentially part-time jobs offered by the school itself. They provide not only a source of income but also valuable experience that can be beneficial in your medical career. Plus, it's a great way to get a sense of the working environment within the medical field. Next up, public service loan forgiveness programs. These are programs that forgive the remaining balance of your student loans after you've made a certain number of payments while working full-time for a qualifying employer, typically a government or nonprofit organization. It's a long-term strategy, but it can significantly reduce the burden of your medical school debt. Lastly, choosing less expensive schools or countries for your medical education. Yes, it's true, not all medical schools are created equal, and the cost can vary greatly. So, doing your homework and researching schools that offer quality education at a lower cost can save you a significant amount of money in the long run. While the cost of medical school is high, there are strategies that can help make the dream of becoming a doctor more affordable. So don't be disheartened by the price tag. Remember, where there's a will, there's a way. And with these strategies, your way to medical school might be a lot less costly than you think.